Okay, sorry, I was looking at the wrong screen. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be across this beautiful blue-green globe of ours. Welcome to Real News Live. This is a Monday morning news update in AMA. I'm your host, Mike Barra, in Las Vegas, Nevada. Not joined by anybody today. It's Jen's birthday. Go wish our Jen a happy birthday over on her Telegram channel or anywhere else you may find her. So happy birthday to you, Jen. It's great for Jen to be 39 years old today. Again, welcome to the show. We're gonna do a news update. We're gonna do some questions. We're gonna kind of go from there. But while we wait, I'm gonna go ahead and get through all of the other information, advertising stuff. Please keep in mind that any show that you do not find on live streams, you can always pick up on mikebarrett.blogspot.com, where I have not only these shows archived and many, many others, but also interviews I've done, presentations I've done on aliens and other subjects, books I've written, interviews with other people in the UFO community, my great update podcast with Ryan Wood, son of Dr. Bob Wood, about the Majestic documents, analysis of the Calvine UFO photo, the Toxically Masculine show, interviews with people in the UFO community. That's the place to go. MikeBarra.blogspot.com. Also, please, you can hang on over at the Rumble channel, Real News Live with Mike and Jen. Please go in and follow and like the videos. And one of the cool things you can do over there is to hit the lower right-hand corner where you see a little red button that says subscribe. For a mere $5 a month, you can support me and Jen in the show. We split the proceeds from that. You can also do Rumble Rant there. Hit the little dollar sign. And I do appreciate the Rumble Rants. Jen and I split them. And it really does help us keep everything going, pay the software bills, and all that stuff. So don't forget to get over Real News Live with Mike and Jen on Rumble and follow us and subscribe or whatever you would like to do. Also, please don't forget to visit our wonderful sponsors, the CBD Gurus, over at the CBDGurus.com, where you can pick up all kinds of awesome CBD based products for your health. Does that work? Does that work? That's the best. Except we're going to do that. What you want to do is slide on to the wholesale tab, slip down to where it says Mike B Wholesale, type in the discount code ALIEN, no capital A, no S, just a lowercase ALIEN. Hit the enter button and it will take you to this week's specials. Special below, must be a wholesale buyer. You get the 4-ounce pain cream sample, ran out. Starting at 4:30, we're going to be giving the lotion Guru's Choice at $150 will be given. You can also get another 10% discount using Mark Z, or you can get currency. This week you can get both. You can get 2,000 dinar, 4,000 dinar, 8,000 dinar, 10,000 dinar, depending on your level of purchase. They've got all kinds of cool CBD stuff. And I've talked to Matt this weekend, and Matt and I, we're going to have a special product coming out. It's going to be featured here. It's going to be gummy based. It's going to be full spectrum gummies, something like that. But look at the other specials. You've got the regular gummies, the sleep gummies, which are great for putting you to sleep. The Delta 8 stuff, the broad spectrum, the Miracle Gold. Everything is really cool in the wholesale section today. The CBDGurus.com. Also, please don't forget to visit our other wonderful sponsors, MikeBarraPets.com. MikeBarraPets.com are the mushroom-based supplements for your doggies, your kitties, your horsies, and for yourself. These are awesome, natural, holistic, mushroom-based products. Diana and Kristen are just getting back this week from the Mushroom Ladies World Tour, where they went around and spread a lot of healing and happiness to all kinds of people all over the world. Just hit the Shop Now button, and you go straight into all of the product lines for sale there. You've got the Mush Puppies and the Mojos. That's what I've got Barkley on. Again, for about the 50th time today on his morning walk, people were like, is he a puppy? No, he's not a puppy. He's 12 years old. He's geriatric, but he runs around like a puppy because I got him on the Mush Puppies and the Mojos. Chill Doggies is a great product. When Dave and I go out, we have to leave the dog at home. We give him one of those for anxiety. If you have a doggy with anxiety, get him some Chill Doggies. It works great. The special sauce or super sauce for the dogs and cats is excellent stuff. Mush Ponies for your horsies or your donkeys. We got to get some Mush Ponies to Henry the donkey to help his snout heal from the fight he got in protecting his cows. And then there's the Enforce line of products for human consumption based on Coriolis versicolor and reishi mushrooms. You got the Enforce Plus for immune system boost, the clarity, the restore, the shield, the clarity. It's for your brain. I got to start taking that because I keep messing things up. But those are great products. The gummies. Also, they've got all kinds of other stuff. They've got coffees. They've got chocolates. They've got starter packs. Send Diana an email at mikebarapets@gmail.com. She's a certified pet nutritionist. Tell her what your kitties and doggies issues are, and or yourself, and she will get with you and get those corrected. Speaking of that, I also am really excited about the LifeWave patches, the X39, X49 LifeWave brand of patches. These things are interesting. They're based on a photometric science of photometry. Basically, what it does is every living thing exudes infrared light, infrared energy. What this does is it reflects a portion of that back onto your body. You, depending on where you wear the patch, I've got one on my neck, I got one on my stomach, I got one on my leg. And what they do is they basically stimulate the growth of stem cells within your body, which allows your body to then take those stem cells and convert them to whatever use it deems fit. I'm running on the SP6, the X39, and the X49. The X39 is the basic one. That's the one that everybody takes. It covers all sorts of ailments and maladies. So definitely get on over there. There's links in the description to all this stuff for the LifeWave brand of patches. And I'm going to have to get myself on the Eon patches because I heard that the SP6, which I'm already taking, that's this cool green one here, and the Eon, when combined, will help with male problems. Men, when they get over 40, some things tend to keep getting enlarged, the prostate basically. And supposedly this works really, really well to shrink that, reduce inflammation throughout the body. And these are really great stuff. Phototherapy is the concept behind LifeWave, and there are all kinds of cool, awesome patches that you can use. And Michael Jaco is the one who got me going on this. Michael just lost his son. I think the funeral was this last weekend. When that's over, we will have Michael on again and talk about the X39 patches. I wouldn't be doing this one because I was already got a bunch of other cool health sponsors. I wouldn't be doing this one, but I have 3 friends now, and we're going to have those 3 friends on sometime, maybe this week. Maybe I'll ask Scott and Ron and Jim to come on, and Joe Evans to come on and tell us their stories. I think that would be really, really interesting stuff. So lifewave.com, link in the description. It's not lifewave.com. It's lifewave.com/Mike Barra. Link is in the description to pick that stuff up. Okay, let's run through, see who's here, and then we will get on to the news segment, such as it is. Carlos says, glad to see you again. Glad to see you guys too. We missed you Friday. Yeah, there was nothing to talk about on Friday. There's not a lot to talk about today, but we're going to go through it anyway. Jen's not here. It's her birthday. Wish her happy birthday. I got to run out of here and go get my haircut as soon as this is over. Good morning from Iridescent Flame. That's Paul. Hope she had a wonderful vacation. Well, Jen is still on vacation, and I think you guys should all go in and encourage Jen to get in her car and drive down here to Vegas with her daughter, and Mike Barra will show Jen a good time. Yes, she is still on vacation. She will not be here today, but you can still wish her a happy birthday because she may get around to watching this later on. Rexy, it's my job. I would have been here Friday, but I just didn't have any information to report, and I didn't want to give people false hope, but I am going to fill you in on everything I've heard since Friday before we get done. You don't have to thank me. This is what I do. And, you guys, when you pay me back with the Rumble rants, me and Jen, when you pass back with the Rumble rants and the subscriptions on Rumble, it really helps a lot. And it makes us, it just helps keep everything going. And we appreciate it more than you can know. So Moira's here. Hi. And she says, happy birthday to Jen. How are you? What's going on in the Brave Warrior Fearless Warrior Community, saving the world one life at a time. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, guys, like I wouldn't the products that are sponsoring me and Jen, I wouldn't I wouldn't be selling these if I didn't know that they worked. Now, will they work for everybody to the same degree as it worked for the people that are giving me their testimonials? No. But I've had them work personally for me and I've had them work um, for other people. And the LifeWave patches, these things are definitely making some changes in my body. It can take up to, I've been on the earth for more than 5 decades, so it's supposed to take 5 months to really build up in your system. But I am starting to notice some differences already, and I really interested in how this technology develops and how people do with it. Gina Skinner's here, Mary Gold's here, Rochelle is here. Happy solar return, Jen. That's sweet. Your birthday was this past Saturday, Karen. Well, happy birthday. Get a little swig there. Missy says happy birthday. Kathleen Augenter, happy birthday, Jen. We love you. Appreciate you. We do. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Jen's birthday. Mark highlighted Jen's birthday comment this morning. Oh, that's cute. I didn't know he did that. So, Bear has arrived. Jen 39 and rolling on the RV. That's right. Sovereignty won the Kentucky Derby. I saw that. I almost bet the 40-1 horse. I was over at Suncoast Casino just up the street here to lay my Seahawks money down. I got my 2 Seahawks tickets up there, and I almost bet the Kentucky Derby, but I chose not to. Happy birthday to Jen. More happy birthdays. More good mornings. Regina Mitchell is here. We love you, Regina. You know what I'm not seeing? I'm not seeing any. Wow, I'm not seeing any Rumble commentary at all. I know there's comments over there. Let me see what happened. Are we not? We are. I know we're running on Rumble. Why am I not seeing any Rumble comments in the chat, guys? Megan wants to know which one of the supplements is great for joint pain. Well, on the X30, the LifeWave patches, that would be, let me get to the, there's an ice patch. What's it called? Let me bring this back up. Movement, general wellness. It's the Ice Wave. The Ice Wave patches. Ice Wave are the ones that work the best for joint pain. Happy birthday. I'm not getting any Rumble commentary, which is just weird. I should be seeing some Rumble stuff. So Dr. Sarah Brodsky's here saying hi to somebody else. Hi, Dr. Sarah. How are you? I know 2 Dr. Sarahs. I have the Persian chiropractor in Redondo Beach. Okay. Angelina says, I read Trump is prolonging the RV and now wants full speed ahead. I also heard that Trump wants everyone to RV by May 31st, 2025. Is that true? We will get to that in the news segment here in a minute. Lori says, my cat is very picky with the food, was throwing up weekly with what we were feeding her. I switched to the cat food from Mike Barra Pets, and she's been great. Loved it immediately. There you go. There's your testimony. It's good stuff. They have soft food and they have kibble. So saw Mike on an interview on the Discovery Channel of Bermuda Triangle. That was a fun show. I did that in Key West. That was Key West is a wonderful city. For your winter getaway, that would I can highly recommend Key West. It's a great town. Great town. That's how I met Steve Doran from Toxically Masculine Tuesday. It says it's not running on Rumble, but yet I see it running. I'm right there. I see it running, and I've got people in there commenting. I'm just not seeing their comments coming up. I can only see your comments on Rumble when I go into the Rumble chat. So that is weird. All right, guys. Again, I'm on a fairly tight timeline. I do have the show with Mel Carmine to do at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. The forecast. I'll be putting a link to that in the Telegram channel. So I've got to get in here, get you the news, take some questions, and then get out. Get out. So let's run the news update and tell you what we think we know, because I know this is what everybody came for. All right. Let's go back, take a couple steps back. On Thursday of last week, my information from the people that contact me was that it was guaranteed to go Friday, that we would open up the Forex on Friday and the Iraqi rate would be there. It was absolutely guaranteed. Nothing could stop it. Nothing would stop it. That's what I was told. I didn't believe it. So I did not relay that information to you on Friday because I didn't want everybody to get all amped up. The alternate story to that was basically, if it doesn't happen Friday, it's all set for Sunday night. Now, I've previously been told by someone who um, doesn't have a great track record of accuracy that it's only going to happen on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, or possibly Wednesday. That Thursday, Friday, Saturday are not days that the RV will happen. What this person is speaking of is those are not days that the dinar will revalue in public on the Forex. So that rolled us over into Sunday night. We sat and we all waited to see what was happening, and it did not go on the Forex again. I continue to be told that Donald Trump is going to make an announcement about the public rates and the redemption centers and all this stuff tomorrow. Okay. I have to tell you, I don't believe that story. It is possible that and I think probable that we go privately before there's any kind of public announcement. However, the alternate scenario is that the public announcement and the private redemption appointments happen at the same time, and the bond payouts happen at the same time. So if any one of these things goes in the clear, in public, with confirmation, if any one of those things happens, then you can say, okay, the rest of it is coming right behind that. One of my other bond contacts, the broker, has received a contract. He went back and forth. There were some issues. He's now been told that he and his cohorts on the brokerage side of things, these are private sovereign transactions, will get their contracts today, no later than tomorrow, and can expect payout no later than Wednesday. These are commissions on deals that have been done and assets have been exchanged. Assets have been exchanged. What that means is someone has brought golden assets to the US Treasury, and they have been placed on ledger as assets, I believe, of the US government or other international governments. In return for that, the private brokers of these deals are to be paid a commission. And that is what we are waiting to hear from them. Now, the broker believes that after the bonds are done, that he gets the rest of us, the currency holders, go in the next 2 to 3 weeks, which would line up with the earlier thing about Trump saying, end of the month, or that Trump's rumored to be doing this by the end of the month. I continue to hear from multiple sources Trump wants this done now. If Donald Trump has his finger on the button, then why isn't it done if that's true? I don't know what to make of that. I do believe he wants it done. I do believe the implementation is out of his hands at the moment. I do know we have come this close about 5 times in the last 6 weeks. So we're all waiting on that. Now, my other bond guy was told he will be paid this week. middle of the week, which means Wednesday. So everything seems to be refocusing in on Wednesday. You continue to hear stuff from people along the lines of, let's see, how can I put this? Um, 30% of the tier 3 bonds need to be backed by funds before tier 4B can go. We've been over 80% of the tier 3 bonds being funded for a couple of months now. That is not the issue. All the gold and all the assets have been moved into place. The trust funds were released on Easter. So there is no reason whatsoever that we haven't gone yet, except that the people in charge don't want it to go for some reason. You and I can argue till the cows come home about whether those reasons are legitimate. I do not believe they are. I think we should be going. I think we will go very, very soon. Whether it's on this new schedule of tonight into tomorrow, I don't know. It would be nice. It would be nice if they finally got it done, because they're saying Trump's patience is at the end of its rope. Now, even if Donald Trump is not fully in charge of the implementation of the public RV and the tier 4B, then he can still influence it in many different ways. I believe that's part of what we've been seeing play out. Trump is saying essentially, okay, I can't make you guys push this button yet, so I'm going to do this and that and the other thing to mess things up until you push the button. I think that's the game that's being played. Now, is that based on any information or speculation? It's speculation. But the thing to keep in mind is that economies cannot, do not, and never have worked from the top down. They only work from the bottom up. So what you have to do is flush the bottom with the resources to engage in commerce, which then lifts everything up. That's the only way it works. So as far as the powers that be are concerned, we're not important because we're just the peasants, as Barack Obama called us. The reality is, without the peasants, the whole machine comes to a halt. So in reality, we're the most important aspect of this. Not the central planners, not the bankers, not any of the people who think they know everything. They're not important. We are. So to summarize it, I'm just hearing the same things I've been hearing. It's this week, it's Monday, it's Tuesday, it's done. Everyone agrees it's done. It is done. What does that mean if nothing ever appears in the open? I heard another rumor last week on Friday that if it didn't go on Sunday, that Iraq was going to go alone. I didn't quite believe that, but I'm down with it. If Iraq has had enough and they're just going to revalue their currency in public and make an announcement and put it on the CBI website, go for it, because we're all sick and tired of this nonsense. So as I look at the political plane, the way the way things are out there right now, the body politic, I think they still need a crisis to implement these changes. I see no crisis on the horizon. Every time it looks like we're about to have a crisis, somebody stops it. Trump is now reaching the point, however, where anything that does happen that's chaotic economically is going to be blamed on him, not on Biden. So he needs to get this done now. And that is what I hear is the plan. But we have no action. And that's the news. That's the report. That's what I've got. Go through a few more questions. Mike Mick is here. Thank you, Mike, for all the updates on Henry the donkey. We've got to get Henry some mush ponies to help him heal up. And yeah, any hopium. The only hopium is that people keep telling me it's happening today. It's happening tomorrow. Okay. Makes me hopeful. So that's where we're at. Glad I'm here too. Wish I could give you guys more, but I don't know what the Gentel is. There isn't any. So because Jen's on vacation. Country Chick, is there a link to Mike Barra Pets? Yes, there is. I will just get you that right now and put it in the chat. And bango, there you go. And again, you can send an email to Diana at MikeBarraPets@gmail.com. So hi Rob, you seem to be really frustrated. So how about if you just leave us forever? One story after another, nobody knows. Maybe Mr. C is right. Everything happens when military is visible. I don't even think that's going to happen. I don't know if it's going to happen. DNR recaps Friday, confirmed on live television. They announced the IQD exchange rate of 602. Well, I'll tell you what. I know some people who know some people in Iraq. I will ask them if that's true. If it is, I will post it on Telegram and on Mike Barra 333 on Twitter X. Any truth that Sudani was on stating 602? Again, primetime gal. I hope so. Am I seeing consistent rate amounts for the currencies consistent within a range? Again, I know of two people who did bond exchanges almost 2 months ago now, and were asked by the bank, do you want to exchange your currency too? Do you have currency? Yeah, we have currency. They both exchanged, one of which I've seen his bank account. He got, I want to say 491 for his dinar and 212 for the dong. The other guy I know got $2 for the dong. So the dong is in the plus $2 range. I can absolutely confirm to you, I know someone who got $2.12 for their dong, but that was a private exchange with a banker. The funds were released. He is spending them. I wish I could get one of those deals. Texas Christie, I don't know about the Pengo. I'm going to assume it's going to be in the first basket because I think it's a strong currency. So I think it might be in the first basket. But last I heard, there were 17 in the basket. Then there were 15 because 2 were giving them problems. And then Trump told everybody, you better get your shiz together on Sunday yesterday because we're going after that. And if you're not ready, you're going to be left out of it. So that's where we're at on that. Need the Iranian nuclear plants to fall. Again, I think these things are excuses for, this is why it didn't go. Because the Iranian nuclear plants. Mike, an order I was going to place with BMW you mean BMW? BMW? Okay. It was double the cost. Maybe we're close. I hope so. How did I get kicked from your Telegram if I did nothing wrong? Well, let me tell you something here, Dave. I don't know if you're one of the people here that's included in this, but I kicked some people yesterday off the Telegram channel. And Wolverine came in and somebody reposted his video. And there were 2 people who laughed at him and another person who put in a clown emoji. Well, I don't know if you guys know this, but I can see who does that. And if you're going to come in and be mean to Wolverine on my chat, if you think you're going to get away with that, you're not. Because I went in, I found those people, I banned all 3 of them. And I'm going to continue to do that. You do not get to mock my friends and get away with it. I understand everybody's frustrated. I'm frustrated. But that doesn't mean you get to pick on other people, especially nice people like Wolverine, who's done nothing except try to keep your spirits up for years and years. So if you did something like that, that's why you're out. Kathy Mayhall says, good morning and happy birthday to Jen. XRP Lion, Dave XRP Lion says the Boulevard may not be accepted, and if it is, you have to have a minimum amount to exchange it. Dave XRP Lion is full of shit. That's not true. And I will bring that up today with Mel. I think Mel knows this guy. I'd say stay in your lane, stick to what you know, because you don't know what's going on. Who, in my opinion, is holding this up? I keep being told it's not Donald Trump, but I believe it's Donald Trump. I believe Trump is the bottleneck. I believe he continues to want to modify the deal at the very last second, but I don't know for a fact. Let me just check something here. Getting a live update. Oh yeah, TNT Tony's going on later today. He's working on information. Pay attention to Tony. Tony knows a few things. He's done some Gentel confirms lately. Yeah, we hope you have an amazing birthday week. And Jen, let's all go bug Jen and tell her she needs to hop in her car and come to Vegas and visit me and Regina and Jen. Have a good time. The aggro checks are going to be in the first basket, is what I hear. So I guarantee that that's not true. I believe this will happen in the blink of an eye, and we will all be thankful. I hope so. Yeah, the IMF and the World Court and the BIS, these are all problems. But as I understand it, they're out of the way because everybody needs this. DNR Recaps just post stories that are not confirmed. Exactly. So Jim Willie said 3. Now we've got them and other people saying that the dinar went at 6. Think about it like this. If you have $1 million dinar and it's $6, you got $6 million. Don't get greedy. Just be thankful for whatever we get. Could someone in Trump's inner circle be playing both sides? To a certain extent. Whiplash has posted consistently that Israel has to take out Iran. I can come up with any excuse. They haven't announced life on Mars yet. That's why we haven't gone. That's what we're waiting for. So, if the aggro goes at 330,000 per billion, I'd be happy. That's what we hear is the rate. It may be higher. Happy birthday, Jen. Texas Christie loves Wolvie. Yeah, you're not gonna. You think you're gonna come in my chat and pick on me or my friends and get away with it and not get blocked? Fuck you. You're not. I used to be mean to Wolverine. When was I ever mean to Wolvie? Ever. Fuck you. Wolvie's sweetheart doesn't have to do with this other than keeping everyone else going. We love our Wolvie. Agree about the lion, dude. I don't know this Dave XRP lion guy. I just think you should stick to crypto. And everything he's saying is not what I'm hearing. But here's the thing: as long as it doesn't happen, anybody could be right, right? Anybody could be right. Fucking mountain goat could be right. 212 is some cheap dong. Yeah, my dong's available cheap. Yeah, Tony thinks we're closing in. I hope Tony's right. You know what? If everything TNT Tony turns out to be true and everything that me and Mark and Wolvie have told you for the last 3 years turns out to be false, as long as we get good, healthy rates and we can exchange them, I don't care. I will send you a picture from inside my new Porsche saying, I don't care. If I can't afford a Ferrari, I can only afford a Porsche. I'll still do that. Or Porsche, whatever you want to call it. I'm trying to be informative, Ray, but I feel like I'm not telling you anything that hasn't been floating around in the rumor mill. But I've heard the same rumors from sources not having anything to do with the rumor mill. So Happy birthday to our beautiful Jen. Yep. Yeah, Trump's making an announcement about the NFL draft. Trump's making an announcement today. It's a sports related announcement. Turned out to be the NFL draft. Sure. Oh wow. Okay, finally getting some comments from the Rumble side. Treasury guy that POTUS wants to replace could be the Federal Reserve. We love our Wolvie. Wolvie is a sweetheart. Um, Happy birthday. Best wishes. The log lady from Twin Peaks could be right, except she passed away from cancer about 7 or 8 years ago. Happy Cinco de Mayo. Yeah, happy Cinco de Mayo. Actually, I wanted to show everybody this. I wanted to say to you guys, happy Cinco Deported. Happy Cinco Deported. Happy Cinco Deported to all of you. So, what else happened last night? I had a really fun phone call with Vincent Fusco last night, and Vincent's in a great state of mind, and we're gonna work on doing some more stuff together. So, okay, we're all wrong. We just report rumors. Wolvie repeats what he hears. I know Wolvie knows some people at high levels of governments and economic institutions. I know he knows some people. So he is repeating what they are telling him. Do not crucify him for that. I am repeating what I know from people who know people. And I know people who are in the bond side of things who tell me stuff. And I've picked up a few other folks, and you know who you are, who've told me some interesting personal bank stories and shown me proof, sent me screen caps. Jennifer says, excited to celebrate soon. Jen should have a weekend in Vegas. I agree. Have her come down here. Oh, Miss Fluffy Muffy's doing significantly better. She finished her oral antibiotic, which was really traumatic. I had to stick the thing down her throat. But that's all done. I've gone through 9 or 10 days of that. Her infection seems to be getting better. That was to treat her bladder infection. Hopefully the UTI infection is all cleared up. We don't know. We're going to get some more tests. It's probably going to cost me another $500 or $600. Maybe I'll come on and beg you guys for that. We'll see. Get a little extra money to pay those vet bills. And I think since I've increased her insulin dosage, I also think she's feeling better. We still have the collar thing on her to try to keep her from scratching around her left ear. It's almost completely healed up. Just keep my fingers crossed when I take that thing off of her that she doesn't go back to scratching it. That's the main thing I'm concerned about now with Miss Fluffy Muffy. Patriot Sonia, yeah, Wolfie's a kind man. Yeah. And it's like, just go on. The only people who really the people who start this are the people who think that we're all just scamming you, which is just not true. I am not scamming you. I can't wait to be done with the RV and go back to doing aliens full time. I never got on Fox News talking about the RV, but the show became about that because that's what everybody wanted to know about. That's what Jen was good at looking at. And that's what we are now. Tequila and a pair of aces for double down. Yeah, love Vincent. Vincent is, I'll tell you what, and I said this to him last night. I said, Vincent, I don't know what part you have to play in all this, but I know that you're important. And, he talks, he hints around at a lot of stuff. That's all I have to say. He hints around at a lot of stuff. No, guys, I understand you're stressing out, but try not to let it get to you. Just wake up every morning on the assumption it's not going to happen. And then you'll be so joyously surprised when it does. Know that it will happen, that it's inevitable, but wake up assuming it hasn't happened overnight. And then you'll be so pleasantly surprised when it does. Yeah, I don't give a shit whether Tony's right. And I'm not. Fine. You go be the best dinar guru you can. I'm going to go back to being, harassing NASA. Yeah, he doesn't need to keep apologizing to people who give him grief. Um, yeah, 35 or 40 million dollars Trump has invested in the dinar. Uh, yeah, I'm glad she's doing better too. Wolverine just posted the BOA is accepting IQD for processing internally. Yes, but what rate are they processing it at? That's a significant step, but it depends on what they're going to give you for it. Yeah, I've got a million choices. Colloidal silver, the mushroom stuff. I have a hard time getting her to take the mushroom stuff. So what I've done is I sneak in the mushroom kibble with her regular kibble. She doesn't like the mushroom kibble very much, but mix it in with her regular kibble and her temptations, and then she eats some. So I have to trick her because she's a cat. Thank you, Snow White in Texas. I appreciate that. I'm getting a Ferrari and a Bentley. Yeah, well, I'd like to get a Ferrari. Uh, yeah, he does. Wolvie has a good heart, and you don't get to pick on good-hearted people and get away with it. I don't think this is true. I don't think the whales are taking longer than expected to exchange. I do know that some of them are being held back because they're not releasing this yet. But they're not the reason why it's not released. They could process these people at any time. Uh, I think it's the same level ulterior motive that they keep insisting we go to the exchange centers instead of the banks. Why do they think they need to tempt us with higher rates? I don't know. I don't know. 391, Mary Peterson, was that the rate? I thought it was 4 something on the dinar. But I'm gonna push that. Check out that story about Sudani. I hope that's true. That would actually fit with the information I was getting. That there'll be some sort of announcement today or tomorrow. So it's not really an announcement though until it's either in the Gazette, on the CBI website, or on the Forex. Then it's an announcement. Have I thought about hosting an alien event in Vegas in the next year? Yeah, I'm going to be doing Dave Farman's event in September 14th. And I'm going to be flying Marina out for that. So if you guys would like to meet Marina and talk to her about her story, that'll be your opportunity. Um, I just think it's too late in the game now for the RV for me to be able to afford to do that. Not afford it, but be able to get it organized. And I don't like Dave very much, and I want to get him out of the business. I just want to buy him out, but because his brand has a poor reputation um, in the business. But I just want to move. You know, it's too late to make it happen probably this year in October. And if I did do it in October, I'd be competing with him. And as much as I'm not a huge fan, um, I I don't want to wreck him financially. I'm just not what I'm into. So there are other people in the business I would happily wreck financially. Some speculate post RV rate of 391 per IQD. That would mean $125,000 note is worth 97,750. Even 5 notes, nearly half a million. Yep. Yep. If you just go to a bank, says Zaphod, and give us a lower rate, then pocket it at that rate, we can get to then we can get to the redemption centers. Is my guess. Yeah. Callie Christine is feeding 17 cats. You must have a lot of ferals out in your farm there. I have asked the aliens when we will RV, and they will not tell me. I don't think they're in favor of it. Oh, Dave XRP Line said if you don't take the buyback at the redemption, you won't be able to sell it in the future. I don't know what that means. I don't think that's true either. I don't think that's true either. All right, guys, that is going to wrap it up. I've been getting everything over there. I got a $10 Rumble rant. Oh my God. Jennifer Brusco. Thanks, Mike. Excited to celebrate soon. Also agree. Jen would at least have a weekend in Vegas. She'll enjoy it. And how's Miss Fluffy? Okay, so I already answered that, Jennifer. Thank you for the Rumble rant. Thank you, Jennifer Brusco, for Rumble ranting, even though nobody else did. Thank you guys for being here. Thanks for coming on. I got to go run and get my haircut and then get back in time for the Mel Carmine forecast. It'll be on Mel's channels. I'll put it in the Telegram room. when the link is ready at 1 Eastern. I got 2 hours to get my haircut and get back here. So I'm going to go take care of that. You guys have a great day. If I get more information or have updated information, I'll come back and do another live. When I'm not on with Jen, I'm flexible. I got a lot going on. So again, get into Jen's chat and bug her to come to Las Vegas and spend a couple of days. I'll even take her to dinner. So thanks for being here. Love you guys. Appreciate you guys. And I will talk to you later. Back tomorrow night with Toxically Masculine Tuesday. Later today with Mel Carmine doing the science report on Coast to Coast AM tonight at about 10:15 Pacific time. I'll be on doing that, 1:15 Eastern. And I will see you guys then. And then I'll see you back here on Wednesday for another news update. Or, if I have news, I will do news updates every day if I have something to tell you. So thanks for being here. Love you guys. Appreciate it. Talk to you soon. Have a great Monday. Bye-bye.